At the time, you know, when you're on, when you're on a good little money train, sometimes you don't want to get off of it. But also, I think we all pretty quickly realized that it actually was probably the best time. Because the good thing about that act is that it never got to get stale, because it didn't get drawn out to the point it was like, I'm kind of sick of the Shield now. It's kind of old, right? Let's do something different with them. You know, it was like we went out when we were on top, and I think that's why it bummed people out so much. And it was so effective because it was the last thing anybody expected. You know, it's kind of like it's good to go out when you're on top, or put away your head, or to cash in your chips. You know, when you're ahead. So and that leaves you more to do in the future, and leaves you with more options open. So I think it was the best time. There she is. So excited.
How much fun did you have on Swerve?
I didn't like that at all.
Every time we watch it.
I don't remember what happened in because they got me a few different times. A few of them they probably didn't use because of the profanity laced.
The one
when you were doing the promo
with a little horn, and then they made the big foghorn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the first. Yeah, that was the first one that. It's the first time they got me because they're like, yeah, man, like we're doing this birthday card thing for somebody, and I was like, and a day when I was very busy at like TV, I had like 7 segments, like a backstage and a match and all this stuff to do. And I was trying to, get my stuff together, and it's late in the evening, and the guy was like hounding me, like, yeah, we need you to come in here and do me. And I'm like, dude, and I'm like, all right, it's a birthday thing. All right, fine, give me 5 minutes. And so I walk in, I'm like, all right, do the deal. And then they're like, ha, it's a joke with the little horn. And I was like, it wasn't that. Like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I went off on it. Because I was like, dude, like, I'm at work right now, I'm like very busy, we're trying to run SmackDown, and I'm in a main event, and I got all this other stuff that's actually important, and you're wasting my time? Good for you. Enjoy your little show. I'm glad you had fun, though.
I actually heard that there's certain stars, superstars, that cannot be pranked, that they're off limits. How does one get on that list?
Swear.
That's the secret right there.
If you could do any role in a remake, what would it be?
That's such a good question. I want to give a good answer.
Stumped him on this one.
That was actually Jen's question.
Yeah. I just found out Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. Ronda Rousey. It's gonna be Patrick Swayze. That's a comment. That's not an answer to the question. I just found that out. I was like, whoa.
Wait a second. Are you like teasing or for real?
No, that's real.
You've got to be kidding.
That was just announced yesterday today.
Sorry, no. I'm just like putting my camera down because that's so cool. Sorry.
Also, I saw the trailer for the Point Break remake, and I'm not very impressed. Although it looks fancy, but nobody can beat Patrick Swayze in that movie. Not even Ronda Rousey. All right. Anyway, I'll say. I should have been Casey Jones in the Ninja Turtles.
I think you make an awesome Joker.
Oh yeah, I could probably do that too.
What?
Go ahead.
Hi. Who do you like better to work with, Roman or Seth?
The one that doesn't attack him from behind.
I've never really spent much time across the ring from Roman, you know what I mean? We've only maybe once or twice actually been competing against each other that I can remember. I've wrestled Seth a million times from developmental to WWE. I mean, we've literally wrestled in on 7 continents in literally every podunk city in the United States. Roman's probably just been my partner. But the thing with both of them is like, I love, being partners with either of those guys or competing against either of those guys because it's always so much fun because we always have a good chemistry and have and there's there's a work ethic there with us, so we're always trying to push each other and there's a certain standard that we've all set for ourselves as partners and opponents that every match we're involved in has to live up to a certain level. That's the thing. That's how we had success, was just coming in and outworking everybody every day, and that was our whole theory, was we're just going to come in every single night and outwork everybody and try to steal the show every single night. And I think eventually the fans appreciated that work ethic, and that's kind of why people started liking us in the first place. So, so I'm not really going to give you an answer, but I was just saying both of them because, it's in any situation because, it's always fun and challenging, and, it brings out the best in all of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was a roundabout way of not answering the question. That was good.
What?
Would she like working with that or Seth or Rollins in
What's
there?
what's your favorite match you've been in? The WWE.
My favorite matches are usually on the live events, like the house shows that aren't for television, because a lot of the television matches, So to give you an answer, just so I'll give you an answer, I'll say probably the first match that I was ever in WWE, which was a TLC match in 2012. It was us versus Ryback and Bryan and Kane, just because it was the first show that was ever in Barclays Center, and it was a first match ever, TLC match, and that was such a high pressure situation, and it came off so good that that was it was a very fond memory for me. But generally, the live event matches that I can't remember where they are or what town we were in or why it was so good, but for whatever reason, the electricity in some small building in Paducah, Kentucky is just it's on fire that night, and just everything's clicking and everybody's just in a good mood you have these magical moments in these live events that are never captured on film and that only live on in your memory, those are the matches that are always my favorite.
Thank you. Who's your favorite person to team up with?
Well, Roman Reigns.
I think you expected more of an answer.
It's a very simple question.
Have you ever thought about coming out as your Red Riders lunatic French?
No. Why? Have you? Might be alright though.
Is there
Lunatic French. I know you're out there. Shut, girl. Go.
Is there any items you collect, like Pokemon cards, action figures, something like that?
No, I don't collect anything. I'm a what's the word I'll use? I'm kind of like a minimalist. I throw stuff away and keep very little stuff. If there's anything that I don't use or anything junky in the house, I toss it immediately. Last time I moved, I literally didn't have to get a moving truck there. I literally just threw some stuff away and went on the road with my bags, and I went to my new place and started from scratch. And that was only a couple of years ago. I don't keep a lot of stuff. Actually, this just reminded me of it, but when we were watching the movie the other night, the person sitting next to me was like, "Whoa, I'm wearing that same pair of jeans I was wearing in the movie right now." Because they were a comfortable pair of jeans from the wardrobe, and they're like, "Hey, do you want these jeans?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, they're pretty comfortable." And I'm cheap. And once I found one good pair of jeans, I wear them a lot. And I was like, I've been wearing these jeans every day for a year because I got it for free from the movie. And I didn't even plan on it. I was just wearing the jeans I was wearing in the movie as I was watching the movie, and I was like, whoa, I'm shopping.
Thank you very much.
Do they have celebrity hoarders? Maybe you could go in and fix hoarders' houses. Like,
Yeah,
you don't
sure.
need this, you don't need this.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go and look. You've seen that show?
Yeah.
Who is your favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler? Of all time? That's such a good question. It's so hard to answer.
Who's yours?
Dean Ambrose.
They put him on the spot. I will give you a different answer on every day that you ask me that question. Today, I will say Terry Funk.
Oh.
What was the hardest part of your transition from the independent scene to WWE?
Kind of a similar transition from like in some ways from going from WWE to like a movie, because it changes. The medium is different, if that makes any sense. And wrestling independently, you're even if you're being filmed, even if you're on a pay-per-view or television or whatever, you're not really worried about the camera. So you're just doing your thing and cameras are picking it up. But you're working for an audience and you're just doing it, and everything is in the ring. You're not really thinking about how you're being filmed. Whereas WWE is very much a television show, which is something I didn't learn until I got there. Where you're not just wrestling in the ring. You're working for this camera, and there's a camera down there, and a camera guy over here, and a camera guy up there, and like you have to be cognizant of things like replays. Like, you do something cool, you don't want to be. If you do something cool, they're gonna replay it. So you don't want to be doing something cool, something else cool, while they're doing the replay of the last cool thing you did. So you like being cognizant of stuff like that and learning how to work for cameras and television and to stretch things out in a different way, as opposed to just throwing punches and screaming and wrestling, and independence. Also just in independence, I literally do or say anything I wanted to do, and usually did, and didn't have to worry about it. And now it's not so much the case. So those two things are the biggest things.
Very cool.
Did you
like going your
hate
independent
someone
shows
when you guys were in the
WWE
Shield?
shows?
No, I hated him when he hit me in the head with a chair.
Hi, I just wanted to know what made you get into wrestling.
I don't know.
When did you know you wanted to be a wrestler?
Yeah, I don't really remember telling a lot of people say. I remember the first time I saw wrestling, and they have like a story, and they go, I just, the moment they decided this is what they wanted to do. I don't really have that. I can't remember a time when this wasn't what I wanted to do. And I can't remember a time when like wrestling wasn't my thing that I watched and did. Like every memory I have it's like as far back as my memory goes, I was already obsessed with wrestling. Like I didn't know. Probably, when I was getting a little bit older, like into a teenager, like I started looking at it as a realistic possibility because you started, going like, what do you want to, like when you're in high school, it's like, what do you want to do with your life, or whatever, 14, 15 or whatever, and I'm like, what do I want to do? I guess be a wrestler, right? That's probably all I'd be good at. I'd be pretty good at that. But, that's what I should do, right? Yeah, so it's just like, gradually over from when I was a kid to when I started wrestling when I was 16, just like kind of knew that was the direction I was going to go, and it's just the direction the wind blew me in. And then once I kind of decided, then it was figure out how to get into it, which is the hard part. And I didn't really know how. And I got lucky and found a school because I actually saw a flyer for an independent show on a telephone pole. The flea market, and I went to that show, and on a program, like the event program, one of a little advertisement for Les Thatcher's main event pro wrestling camp, and I went, that's it. There we go. There's a school you go to. That makes sense. Just like being a doctor. That's what I'm going with. And from then, I was off to the races.
Thank you.
Well, if you gonna get back with Seth Rollins, what will be your reaction?
What would be my reaction? I would always walk behind him.
I want to, Daddy.
Say that again?
What was his hardest match ever in the WWE?
Is it on?
A good save, man. I always have a phobia that that's going to happen to me on TV. Just screaming in the microphone and nobody can hear me. My hardest match ever? Let's see. I'll say the ladder match with me and Seth Rollins recently was pretty rough. That stands out. Anything where there's ladders, I hate ladders. I don't mind heights, but I hate getting hit with ladders, falling into ladders. Anything where there's ladders involved, or any kind of inanimate, unpredictable objects like that, or multiple people, like it's dangerous. WrestleMania was a rough night for me. Those two stand out, and it's another really good one. Somebody give me a suggestion. Oh yeah, Hell in a Cell was rough. Yeah, that was a rough morning the next day. Hell in a Cell match was rough.
Anything with Wyatt?
Yeah.
Or is it all pretense?
Yeah. Anytime we go to war with them Wyatt boys, it's always a very physical night. So any match with Luke Harper. Bray Wyatt, TLC match. Maybe I had it with Bray Wyatt. That was a rough one. And I had another answer and I just forgot it. Anytime you step in the ring with Sheamus, whether it be a live event, a house show, TV, pay-per-view, whatever, it's always very, very physical, and you really have to. It turns into it's a style I enjoy. Any match with Sheamus turns out to be like a very tough match. It turns into a very tooth and nail fist fight very quickly. So those are a few answers. But pretty much any night.
Forgot what it was like.
Any night for me can turn into the hardest match I've ever had. Because I tend to not turn the dial down when I should. So. Yeah, those are a few off the top of my head.
Thank you.
Since it's Comic-Con, what do you prefer, Marvel or DC?
Dangerous situation. Hey, which one's Batman? Batman's DC, right?
Yeah.
So I like Batman, but I like Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man's Marvel.
I like the X-Men.
It's Marvel too.
Who else is DC? Superman's DC. See, I'm not a big Superman guy. Batman is so good. This guy told me to say Marvel. Obviously, I said that to see if he would get booed. But I have to go with whatever team Batman's on.
DC.
Oh, so he dropped the mic. He was so disappointed.
I love how the crowd is completely indifferent. There was no right or wrong except for that guy.
I should have just done what you said.
I was walking out.
Next time I'll just take your advice.
I've been a fan of hers for quite some time, and as you know, Sammy Callahan has been brought up to NXT as Solomon Crow. I just wondered if there was any possibility, maybe in the future, of a Switchblade Conspiracy reunion.
He's gonna do real good. He's one of the many great talents that are down there, and Cream always rises to the top, and you'll see more of him.
We don't have to put it down. I thought that was an acceptable answer.
Hi, Dean. You've been compared to a lot of different wrestlers in the past, like Jake Roberts, Stone Cold. I think most people in the room think that you're the first Dean Ambrose, but in your opinion, who did you draw the most inspiration from, whether it's a teacher you had or an opponent you had?
Yeah, I never really patterned myself after any one individual person. Like, I just watched so much wrestling that I just picked up on a lot of stuff and just kind of created my own way of doing things. By doing stuff that worked for me and ditching stuff that didn't work for me and kind of not listening to anybody else's opinions. Just kind of doing what felt good to me at the time, what was fun to me at the time. The way you usually go about things in the ring, in an optimal situation, is a lot like the guy that I initially trained with, this guy named Cody Hawk. Just because he was a very much call on the ring, call on the fly kind of guy. I took that style and learned that kind of very early on, and that was just kind of like the basis foundation for everything I did after that. But I'll have the most random stuff pop in my head in the middle of the ring, or in the middle of an interview or something. But, just for some reason I'll just be in a situation in the ring and I'll just think of some weird thing like Psychosis did in '96 or something. Anything, like from anybody, whatever, I'll just do something ridiculous. I'll be like, hey, or they'll be like, what do I need right here? And I'll be like, let's do that thing that so-and-so did at like Wrestle War '89 with like Billy Jack Haynes and somebody, you know what I mean? Who knows, this is a pretty extensive library of stuff I can draw from at any time, so there you go. All kinds of stuff.
Thank you.
With all the success you have in the WWE today and the fans, do you ever miss indie wrestling and being John Moxley?
Some days, I wish that, some days you really wish you could just take the gloves off and do things or say things that you really can't say on national TV, or sometimes you wish you had a little bit more freedom, to do the stuff you want to do, and that's the thing about independent wrestling, it's completely blank canvas, you can do whatever you want in the ring, you can do whatever you want outside of the ring, you can be whatever you want, and you still can in WWE, but there's certain barriers you have to you have to exist in, but that's the thing too, is sometimes I'm like, I always wanted to be a professional wrestler, and I was always drawn to intense, gritty, and angry, violent wrestling, and that's not what it really is. And professional wrestling like that doesn't necessarily even exist much anymore. And once you kind of realize that what sports entertainment is, and you see how good that can be, and how much like it's weird. Like now I'm like you can see little kids and stuff, and do appearances and you meet like Make-A-Wish kids and stuff like that, and you see like little kids, just, little 6-year-old girls with like your doll and stuff, and little kids with your action figure, and you go like, oh holy crap, I'm like a superhero now, like to little kids. But this is so different than how I thought it would turn out, So it's they're kind of two different worlds, but I mean, like, occasionally you have that like you have that romantic dream of remember when I used to be able to do this, but it's a whole different world here now, I wouldn't trade it.
Thank you.
And Dean, you're not just a superhero to kids, you're a superhero to us all. On that note, I do apologize to the rest of the line, but we are completely out of time here, so we have to wrap this. Sincerely, thank you for coming out to Pittsburgh. Thanks for taking the time for pictures, Q&A.
It would have been weird if it was an empty room.
Yeah. 12 rounds, 3 lockdown on demand now. Pittsburgh, let's hear it for Dean Ambrose.